Hello, everyone. This is JPL, and today I'm joined with
Christopher!
yes, and we're a podcast name in brackets. Hello, Christopher.
John,
Yes.
let's just take a second or more to digest this fact.
Okay.
Spider-Man No Way Home is in theaters in less than a freaking week.
Yeah, I was about to say that, but on a different point.
Okay. Let's restart. Okay, Parker 3 brackets, go.
Hey, hello, everyone. Welcome. Podcast name brackets introduction. Yada yada. Hey, Christopher. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great too. We just finished our final show this year.
Wait. I'm confused. What?
We just finished off our show for this year.
Oh, that show. I thought we were talking about the podcast for a moment. Like, what? Okay, how did that go?
Oh, that went well. Like it's a job that
Yeah.
most of it I'm just sitting backstage waiting for something to happen.
I get that.
And stuff does happen.
Mm-hmm. It's
Uh,
just repetitious.
yes. I think I told you that like there was a point where I had to change someone's mic in like a span of 40 seconds.
What?
Yes, okay. I didn't tell you this. So
No.
our show is Oliver, based on Dickens' work Oliver Twist, and the main character is a kid. Well, one night his mic wasn't working because something happened. And there's not many times where he goes backstage.
Mm-hmm.
He's always on stage. And so there is one point when the mic stopped working, there was a transition where we had exactly 40 seconds until he had to get back on.
Oh my gosh.
So in that 40 seconds, he runs off, I stop him, I quickly change his mic with a different one. And for the sake of just getting him out there on time, I didn't hide the mic, the wire. Because and so yeah, I did that in 20 seconds and sent him off.
Wow.
That was insane. I think if that were to happen again, I would have felt more comfortable just hiding the mic.
Mm-hmm.
That was so quick. Like in the moment, I was just like so focused. I was just bam, 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 go.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, and it worked.
I'm so glad it did, but just wow,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was probably the most rushed thing I had to do. Like, there's a couple times where people's mics weren't working, and like I just had to reattach something, and it worked. But that was really the only time where I had to change someone's mic in such a quick fashion.
We had a time when we had to switch someone's mic out too, but we had a little more time, or more or less, because in the next scene he was such a minor character, he was able to enter the scene late, so that wasn't too bad. But it was like that whole first scene was like anytime you speak, like pop 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 pop.
Yeah.
So
I know. Yeah, that's
wow.
Yeah, that's how that works. Like there was a person who forgot to turn on their mic, and so they went on, had their own song number, their only song number of the show, and their mic was off. It was just, yeah, I was like standing backstage going, oh no, oh. But it's fine.
There's nothing you could do about it.
Nothing I can do about it. Nothing.
So you just sat back and enjoyed the show.
Sure. I just stared profusely. Like there was one where someone gets water thrown at their face.
Oh, do you guys actually use water?
Yeah. Yeah, we use water for this one. And of course their mic got drowned.
Oh no.
And so
like every single time?
Yeah, like every single time it hits the mic, like every time like it hits the mic at least. But like we had to switch to like a waterproof mic because it was it was becoming a problem where her voice became like really muffled like this because it was drowned in water.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun
That
time.
sounds like a fun show.
It is when like stuff like this happens. But most of the time, I'm just sitting back there reading a book.
Yeah, I get that, and because it's like, let me think, because like it's nice doing the same thing until you have to do the same thing. You know what I mean? It's sometimes nice having no surprises, and then you want a surprise, and then you get a surprise.
Like
And
when the
then you're like,
surprise
oh,
happens,
well, screw that. No more surprises.
like I'm doing my job.
But,
But like when I'm not, when nothing happens, I'm
oh,
just
wait. So, because I thought you were doing the audio, not this.
what?
I thought you were doing audio as
Oh, you mean like
well.
sound mixing?
Yeah.
No, no, no,
Or
no, 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 no.
no.
I finished that show. The other guy
Oh,
was doing
gotcha.
this one, and so
Gotcha.
I was
Okay.
backstage, like in case a mic went off. I was the one in charge of doing that.
Copy. Sorry.
And
Now,
so
see, I'm picking up theater lingo. I say copy.
you're picking it. Copy 10-4.
We actually don't say 10-4 here. We
No, no,
always say
yeah, no.
copy.
10-4 is like more of an official thing. Copy.
Yeah. I
I don't
think
even
we
say.
said 10-4
I
at
don't even
camp
say
a lot.
copy. I say got it is what I say.
Gotcha.
Even though
I feel like copy is like such a diverse word.
yeah,
Instead of
copy.
it's like instead of saying okay or fine, uh-huh, or I got it, you say copy, and it means all of that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And I hate it, but I love it at the same time.
sure. Yes. But yeah, we finished the show today. I was late today because we had to clean up.
That's okay. I was late because I went shopping.
Oh, that's fine.
So I had lunch with a friend, then got
Mhm.
gas and went shopping, and came straight here. So I didn't dilly dally. But yeah,
Yeah. No, I was working. But yeah, the show is done. I don't have to worry about any of that for the rest of the year.
so I kind of forget, and I feel like we talked about it. But are you doing shows next year or next semester or not?
I said that I wouldn't take a position.
Gotcha.
I'll work with Greg, but on an
As your
official
job,
as the job, but
but
on
you're
an official capacity where I get credit for it, no.
mhm. Gotcha. Okay. And you're probably going to be over credit by the time you graduate, anyways, right?
Over credit?
With all your minors and all the theater
No, no. I mean like
stuff
credit,
you've done.
like official resume credit wise.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, resume. My bad. Not school
Yeah,
credit.
yeah. Because like I don't get academic credit for it because I already have it.
Did am I? Did I don't remember, but did they start having a policy of the max amount of credits you could get for shows now?
Like shows, like you have to do like at least 2 or 3 credits of shows. After that, the shows don't count for credit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they do this because like a lot of times students were like having to overload their uh, credits, and so they just made it so if you're overload, it won't count for academic credit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
before you could.
yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like I remember that change at some point.
Yeah.
Or at least that rule. I don't.
I talked about it with you at
Okay.
some point.
Were you positive or negative towards it? I forget.
Oh, I was fine with it,
Okay.
because like it was just like this extra thing. I didn't
Mhm.
even need it, but it was there.
Right.
It wasn't going anywhere. Like it wasn't really being used for my degree. It was just like
Mhm.
considered an elective at that point.
Right.
And I don't need any more elective credits. I have so much.
Plenty.
I got plenty. Um, yeah. Uh, last time we talked was a little bit ago, I think.
I can't remember at this point.
It was something. Yeah, I think I couldn't do it last week. That's right. Because I was working a show and then
Okay.
I I had to work a different thing as well right after the show,
Hmm.
which was for like a fundraising event, which was fine, went well.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's what happened that last week.
Hmm.
And since last week, we had the villain posters that were released for Spider-Man.
Yeah. I didn't like them.
I liked them. I thought the idea was so dope.
The idea was great.
It
I
looked
didn't like the execution.
The execution was passable. It was good enough for me, at least. It was good enough where I was like, okay, I can tell this is official.
Mhm.
There was a fan made one of the lizard that just looked horrendous. It was just the worst, most terrible thing. Yeah, I think like if you just took a closer look at them, you could be like, oh yeah, I can tell. I think the Green Goblin one is the one that holds up the best
The
because
one that stays in my brain is the one of Doc Ock.
it's
That's the
what.
one like I can. The Doc Ock poster is the one I can pull out of my brain. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember what that one. Like the other,
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah. That was a good one too in my mind because of the tentacles. But
Eh,
I really liked them. You know,
it's,
I
it
saw
just
them. I was
felt
like,
like.
oh gosh, that's so dope. Like, yeah, it
Mhm.
doesn't look great, but still, it's so dope seeing that. Oh,
Yeah.
even though the Spider-Man just looks so
Yeah.
bad.
Seriously, that was my main thing. I didn't like Spider-Man on those posters.
No,
Have it be the villain. You know what I mean?
yeah, because like Spider-Man wasn't the point of those posters. It was the villains. But
Exactly.
still,
And
he
it
just.
was. It wasn't a good angle.
Mm, it was weird. It was just.
It was.
It was ugly for Spider-Man. But yeah, that happened, and then you you did a thing where you said,
Yeah.
"Hey, the script leaked."
No, the plot leaked.
Well, yeah, the plot leaked, and then I was just, yeah,
I was a kid 12 days before Christmas and said, "Oh my gosh, there's presents. I must open them."
what
I was a kid 12 days before Christmas and said, "Oh
I,
my gosh, there's
I,
presents. I must open them."
yeah, I was slightly upset that you were even taking a look at the plot because it's like, bruh,
I,
the movie is like in 2 weeks. What are you doing?
I was trying so hard. I looked and it's like, no, I'm not gonna. Well,
Yeah, I would never, I wouldn't ever do that if the movie was just like
I,
weeks
I,
away.
I will say this: the way it was like a bunch of bullet points out of order. So there are like still chunks where I don't know, and order where I don't know. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And at the end of the day, there's an element where I haven't seen it visualized. So
Yeah,
like
although I really wish like you didn't read that so you could just go in more blindly.
yeah, I get that. I really wanted to, but my curiosity got the better of me.
Like you also told me that you read the Endgame one, but it's like, well,
I
that's no
did.
excuse. Like you weren't even planning to watch Endgame when you read
I
that.
wasn't. Yeah. So
It's
like
like
that
you
was my
you were
excuse
super
in reading
excited
that.
for this movie, and I was like, yeah, cool. And then you read it. It's like, no, you just ruined the movie for yourself. Now you know what's gonna happen, and you're just waiting for it to
Yeah.
happen. Essentially,
Yeah. Kind of.
that's
But I'll say like I'd argue 80%. There's like 20. I'm not sure, but anyways, yeah, I know a lot, and there's still a lot where I'm really confused by reading. You know what I mean?
okay.
Because honestly, when I did read the endgame plot, I was heckin' confused. and
I bet. Yeah.
that's also coming from one who didn't see any of the MCU movies.
Mhm.
Um, but I was legitimately like following news about Endgame since Infinity War released, which is so crazy that
Yeah,
like I was
I
following
don't
some
ever
stuff.
just want to go and find the plot of a movie.
I didn't find it; it found me.
I know, like even if like there's like a link that says, "Hey, this thing leaked," I wouldn't really click on it because it's like, oh, I don't really need to know the plot because who knows if that's even real or not. Even then, it's like, I'm gonna watch it. Like if it happened like a year ago, maybe it piqued my interest when we had no footage whatsoever.
Yeah, I get that.
But since like we've had 2 trailers, all these little image leaks, the soundtrack leaked as well.
I know, freaking ridiculous.
And the titles, their titles are revealing as well.
So, what I've seen some people say the titles are fake.
Well, like they won't be like the what you see officially when they come out on DVD, but like what people were saying that the titles just looked like the composer's notes about what this meant for each track.
Oh wait, really? Oh.
Yeah, because that's what it looked like to them. It's like, oh, the composer probably wrote that little note there for what this track meant.
Yeah, I am a little disappointed myself, but also like why do I keep repeating myself? That I will say this is one reason why I love the TV shows, because it just seems harder for some of those things to leak. I have I have an idea of some characters that will be in the next 2 episodes of Hawkeye, but I have no idea what is going to happen.
Yeah.
And I like that, but obviously the security of No Way Home has been terrible.
Oh, it has. So terrible.
It's been so bad. And so I have to watch Hawkeye as soon as it drops, because I'm following all these accounts that are going to talk about the spoilers as soon as it releases.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like it's really funny seeing how invested I am in the MCU compared to 1 year ago. You know?
It is very interesting.
So like there's an element where I wish I wasn't this invested so that I could go in it with a blind eye. But there's also an element where I know for myself, like it's hard to digest things. And so I struggle, like even listening to new music, like sometimes I like to read up on the artist about the album before I listen to it so I can understand what I'm listening to. And especially watching a movie in a theater, you can't pause, you can't rewind, you can't turn on the subtitles to make sure what they said. So there is an element for me, it is a bit of an aid for me to follow along with the story. I know I keep making excuses, but I think at the end of the day, this will aid me in when we do our immediate review.
Yeah, which we will be doing that. I'm glad you suggested that. Yeah, like we both bought tickets as soon as the day came out.
But not at the same time.
So yeah, I'm watching it like Thursday, 3:00.
Oh, yours is at 3?
Yeah.
Okay, mine is at 7.
Okay.
So you'll have a few hours to process.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
Like I chose the earlier showing because it's like, oh yeah, that's nice.
I wanted to, but I had work at that time, so
yeah. Since like I'm done with work, I have nothing really left to do. It's like, yay, daytime. Woo.
I get off at work at 6:20. So 40 minutes to eat and rush to the theater. So
unless you eat at the theater,
which I probably will, or grab some fast food,
popcorn.
So, nah, I'd rather eat a burger.
I'm excited to get popcorn again.
I don't want to. when I went to see Black Widow, the popcorn was stupid expensive, and I don't want to do that again. I
Yeah.
shared the popcorn with someone. That's how
I see.
expensive it was.
Okay.
So, yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in a theater like you did. So,
No. But yeah, I'm excited to see it this week. Oh, like it's so
Yeah.
soon.
essentially, like when I'm done watching it, I'm gonna rush home and call you, and we record.
Sure. They officially like released some clips of the movie, which I'm not at all gonna look at.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, because like, why would I? The movie's this week.
For me, it's like I've waited so long, I can't wait more.
Like, here's the thing: if I were like a kid, much younger, I'd be like, "Yay, more footage." But now I'm an adult. It's like, I shall wait through the movie experience. I don't need to see this.
Gotcha. I will say one of the clips is of the bridge scene, and it isn't a contiguous clip. It's like bits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the 50 seconds that you show is probably spanned over 2 minutes, maybe. Or
Maybe.
a minute 30. Which I found really interesting. Obviously the movie's not gonna be like that, but watching it I was a little confused, like that's a terrible edit. Oh wait, no, this is a clip, but not your normal clip. Anyways, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited as well.
Oh my gosh, how is this soon?
Yeah, I had a weird dream last night.
Okay, what's your weird dream?
So, we were driving in my car. You were the one driving my car for some reason.
Oh no.
We were going off to like pick up my mom from somewhere. I don't know what. But you went through a parking lot.
What?
Let me finish. And like I was being like, no, don't go to that parking lot. Don't go there. Don't go there. And then you went there. And then we got like our parking ticket. It was like $15. And I got so mad at you. I'd be like, Christopher, you idiot! There was a free parking lot right next here. Like, and like we got into this big heinous argument, and then we stopped talking altogether. Then my mom got in the then my mom got in the car, and it was super awkward. And like none of us like looked at each other or just talked. We just glared every once in a while, and then we never spoke to each other ever again.
Oh my gosh.
It was just like the silliest thing after like I woke up and was like, that's dumb. I would have just paid the money.
But you know what's the stupidest thing though? Is the fact that actually could have been reality.
Like, here's the thing. Sure.
That's the stupidest part.
It's not so much like the reality for us, because I wouldn't be like, oh, I hate you so much. I'll end our friendship. It's like, okay, I guess I'll pay this money.
Like that, and I would do something as dumb like that. That's the part that hurts.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, Christopher, I guess I'll suffer. I'll be like a little bit upset for a couple days, but then we're all good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but no, it was just like our friendship ended over a matter of $15.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a dream. It was something.
That is a dream right there.
Mm-hmm.
Back to Spider-Man. In preparation, I am rewatching the older Spider-Man movies.
Yes.
Last night I started The Amazing Spider-Man and got tired, so I fell asleep halfway. I paused and fell asleep.
Okay.
Which I did the same thing with Spider-Man 3. So tonight I'll finish this Amazing Spider-Man and probably start The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and fall asleep again.
Okay.
But yeah, so...
Here's a question. Are you at all thinking of watching Venom?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So I will say the plot did not have details on any of the end credit scenes. However, other people have heard stuff there's one guy I follow. He says, I've heard like 20 different things on end credit scenes, so I have no idea what's going to happen. A few other people have ideas. Um, this is a friend at work. He's like, I swear Venom's going to be the sixth villain in the movie. I'm like, no way. There's no way. That makes absolutely no sense.
It'd be too
if you
soon.
think about it. Yeah, not to mention, if Venom was truly the sixth villain of the movie, he would have been teased. It does not, and also not to mention the fact that Venom, I feel like, is one of the most anticipated and complex villains that they would rather do a movie on Venom, like Spider-Man 3. Even though that movie wasn't solely on Venom, there would be enough time to develop a story on Venom. You know what I mean? And No Way Home, from what I'm seeing, doesn't develop that for Venom, despite having the two movies.
Although Venom, actually, the second movie, its end credit scene does tease this movie.
I don't know how should I say or how to say.
What do you say? I mean? What do you say?
Because I know one prevalent leak that is about Venom. So I think because you want to wait, I will say nothing, and we will talk about it on Thursday.
Okay.
I think I'll just keep it at that.
Okay, that's fine.
I think that's what we'll... Because I want to talk about it. You know that, right?
Sure.
But I already said one thing that you weren't happy at me, so I might as well just keep my trap shut.
Yeah, that one thing was like, oh man, like.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
So part of the reason why I don't want to look at the leaks is because I love just theorizing about what's gonna happen. And even though my theory is somewhat confirmed, it's also oh man, but I just wanted to watch that and be like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, you have 2 hours plus of stuff waiting to be confirmed.
I know, but that one thing can, just ruin your moment sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I thought it was the one thing that I could say. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
So I did. Anyways, but I don't feel like I have to watch Venom to watch No Way Home personally. But
until you actually do, and they just shove them in there. It's like, oh crap! I should have seen those movies.
I am fully intending to, just provided I have enough time. Because
I've not seen them.
You aren't. Why not?
I just didn't really care about it when it came out.
I don't either, but
I just don't think it looks interesting. I just didn't really like some of the portrayal of it.
I don't either, but the fact that now it's affecting the MCU ish. Now Morbius or the other movies as of right now have confirmation that they're affecting the MCU. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah. But yeah, also what I am seeing is that Sony wants to do a Sinister Six movie in the future. So No Way Home is not a Sinister Six movie. It's, dare I say, Sinister 5.
Or 6, who knows?
I will say, if there is to be a sixth villain, it has to be Mysterio, you know what I mean? But I don't think so. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't, because at the end of Far From Home, Edith Glasses says, yes, he's really dead. So unless we have something super complex about Mysterio. He's dead and gone. You know what I mean?
Sixth villain could
So
be
the-
like the Topher Grace Venom, which I don't know they do because no one likes that character. But
I don't think they, because again, here's my thought. If No Way Home was truly a Sinister Six movie, they would have advertised it as a Sinister Six movie because the phrase Sinister Six is gonna get people to the theaters.
I don't know. Because, like, here's the thing: Spider-Verse is even bigger. Like, get people to come and see the movies if they tease that, but they're not, and so like they probably wouldn't.
The thing is, like in one group chat, I mean, all of them are saying, "Oh my gosh, Sinister Six, Sinister Six," and I keep telling them, "No, it's not Sinister Six. It's Sinister Five. There's only 5 villains
That we know of.
I like just like what I've been reading on the last few months. Like it here. Let's put it this way. maybe in spirit, Mysterio's number 6. To use Christianese terms. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's still Vulture.
Did you hear that Vulture is going to be in the Morbius movie?
I heard a thing or two about that.
I don't get that. I don't like that.
It's a Sony thing.
I screw Sony. Seriously.
It could just be like a Vulture from a different world, but same
I
actor.
hope so. But still, you know?
Sure.
Like, you are literally, like, that's obviously a ploy to get people to the theaters to use the same actor. To be like, oh, how is it connected? It may be, it may not be. I don't know. Ugh! I am so just like, I don't like Sony. I mean, like, here's the best part about Sony. The fact that that Marvel Studios was able to work with Sony to bring No Way Home to life. Like, that's huge. Because honestly, if they weren't able to work together, the movie probably wouldn't have been able to happen. Maybe due to, you know, just character rights or actor contracts. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, like, it's dare I say, a miracle that this movie was able to be pulled off. But like Sony trying to capitalize on Marvel, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Whatever. Anyway, we have Hawkeye.
Yes, John.
Yes.
It's too early to say because we're not done with the show yet.
We're only 4 episodes in.
Out of 6. And I know when we were talking about Loki, we were really excited. The first episode was really good. But it progressively got pretty disappointing. Episode 4 though. I swear all like episode 4 of like these TV shows like slap. Like what if's episode 4 of Doctor Strange? Like I was we've only 4, but you know 4 like almost like episode 4 is anyways. Sorry. Hawkeye is probably my favorite MCU TV show of this year. Like I cannot get over how much I am enjoying the show. Do you disagree?
It's not bad, but I'm just still not excited. I still don't feel like we've had that oomph yet. To like story-wise to really just bring this thing going, because like what really happened? Like nothing really happened. I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Like,
I
I think it's like the stakes just don't really mean much to me with the villains.
I will agree that I kind of don't understand Hawkeye's motive. Like, I don't fully get why he can't go home for Christmas. You know what I mean? But it's something very personal to him that he must take care of. But I still wish it was better communicated. I think at the end of the day, it's simply really just
I think
not just. Go on.
I think like
I'll
I
remember.
don't know. I think his motive makes sense. It's like, okay, if I go home, they're gonna kill Kate Bishop essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really the main reason for like the past couple episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Now that spoilers, Yelena has shown up.
Which,
Now
by the way, did you watch Black Widow?
I did not.
Okay, just curious.
She's shown up, and it's like, okay, well now this is serious, and now I can't go home. Maya now knows about my children, so I can't go home because I had to lead them away. But yeah,
do you know of the end credit scene in Black Widow?
Yes, I do.
Okay, just making sure.
And so, like, her reveal wasn't really much of a reveal. It was like, okay, yeah, I'm just waiting for them to announce her.
It was pretty much, dare I say, Twitter reveal. Let that be the last moment of the episode so Twitter can, be ablaze.
Sure it was. It's like, okay. But I was disappointed with Elena. I have no idea why she retreated at the end. She had no reason to. She had the upper hand. There was, like, Kate Bishop pointing at her was nothing.
Twitter reveal, I swear. Like, let's make this the last moment. And then she'll walk away like half the villains always do.
Yeah, and it was it's one of them stupid writer things. Like they had to have a reason to just have more than one meeting, and so she's just gonna retreat.
Yeah,
stupidly, even though she has the upper hand at this point.
Really good.
But yeah, like I don't really know what's going on with the villains. Like, there's really no evil plot going on, really.
I am kind of confused with that too. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like I get like the hero side of things. Like, okay, they want to clear their name from this thing, but the villains they don't really have anything until they bring in Kingpin, which they haven't yet.
They will.
They will. It's like, okay, well, like, what's the point?
Here's the interesting thing. I thought that Hawkeye was going to be about Hawkeye versus Yelena. But
sure,
it really is, assumedly, Kingpin versus Hawkeye and Yelena versus Hawkeye. Unless Yelena is somehow tied to Kingpin, which I highly doubt because the Black Widow end credit scene, she's tied to Val. So I guess it's like Val versus Hawkeye and Kingpin versus Hawkeye. Like, so we have like two forces against Hawkeye.
It's technically three.
Three? Okay.
What's I consider Maya a different force than Kingpin.
But isn't she like under Kingpin?
Yes, except
like she has her own motivations, but she's still working for him.
Yeah, but I don't think Kingpin ordered her to like go after.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like this is her own personal vendetta. Kingpin would do things differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious. Like I hope that things will be sorted out properly.
I just feel like I'm just disappointed each week because like there's nice moments with like Kate Bishop and Bart, and I really like them together. Kate grew on me a bit. The trailers were just not flattering for her. They chose her worst.
100%.
They chose her worst lines to advertise her with. They say I'm the best archer in the world. It's much better in the show than it is in the actual trailer.
Yeah.
Although
I was feeling the same thing. I'm like, I am gonna hate Kate Bishop, and I love her now. Like her wits and sarcasm is top tier in my maybe not top tier, but I love it so much. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there's
Like,
also
it's just-
Jack. There's also Jack. He's there too.
Who's Jack? Oh,
The-
you mean
That
that guy?
That guy, the new stepdad guy.
Yeah, I don't like him. He can go to hell.
Well, it's like
Uh,
I don't think this role is great for him because like I like this actor. He actually played like another villain in a show called Better Call Saul, and like they're pretty much the exact same.
huh.
Like the way they're performed, it's like it's the exact same.
I guess they hired him because he can perform the exact same.
Yeah, except like this one's like not as good.
I feel like that kind of is Marvel. Either you hire the nobodies to make them, and then they become stars, or you hire the everyone knows who they are and make them do who they are, like Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Nothing against him, but he has his signature style. Or Paul Rudd, even. They have their signature styles. They hired them for their signature styles.
Yeah. And so yeah, like while I am enjoying Hawkeye, I just feel like there's just not enough content each week to be like, oh, that's great. There's not enough story oomph. It's just like a section of one story. I don't really feel like there's enough story in each episode.
I will agree that, like I kind of said, like I do feel like I am a little confused at the story, but it's the character dynamics between Kate and Hawkeye. Like I am loving it
Sure,
so much.
even though like I do enjoy it, I'm also like, this is just like another one of those TV things where they focus more on the emotions and relationship of the characters than the actual story itself.
Well, that's unfortunate. Fortunately or unfortunately, the thing with these TV shows.
Which I don't. I wish like they could do more of like the actual story.
Yeah.
And just you know.
I heard that Hawkeye was actually they were originally planning for it to be a movie, and then they're like, no, we need more time.
Like I think it would work better as a movie.
I feel like a handful of these shows.
The plot of these series works better as a movie, not as a series.
I don't like how they format some things as a TV show. For example, like the beginning episode 3 was a little bit of Echo. You know what I mean? And I like I said, I've enjoyed every episode, but I was a little like, come on, pick it up, come on, pick it up. Here's one thing we did not talk about though. Like the main two things why I'm loving the show. Number one, like I said, the character dynamic between the two. But second are the fight scenes. Like,
man, they're cool.
These are like so random and entertaining with these trick arrows. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you're very enthusiastic.
I just feel like there could just be more. Like the chase scene, the chase thing, like, oh yeah, that's cool, but I didn't really want to see a chase scene.
Here's the thing. I've gotten so far in Marvel where it's like, in general, yeah, I don't want to see a chase scene. However, if you make interest, then you're going to grab me more. And in my mind,
but then you get to a point where you've just seen so many chase scenes. It's like,
okay, that's you, not me.
Let's just move on to another thing. Like, come on. Yeah, like I've seen so many chase scenes at this point where it's like, okay, we're doing a chase scene now. And also, I don't really like villains chasing the hero scenes. I don't know, because like I never really feel like that our heroes are in any danger with that. I feel like if the heroes were chasing the villains, I'd be like, okay, yeah, now there's a stake at play. Like you don't want the villains to get away. You're like, oh, let's get them, and then they lose. It's like, oh, darn, you lost. Here it's like, well, they're going to get away somehow.
That's an interesting thought. Never thought about that. Thanks for ruining every single movie, John. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's me.
No, it's fine. Because it's important to see like how like it's an easy trope to fall into, and despite the fact that it can drive a story, like there's so many cliches used in movies, and I mean there's a reason why like the ending of Infinity War is so impactful, because how many times do the bad guys lose at the end of the movie? Sorry, the good guys lose at the end of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That now, obviously, there are only two ways to end a movie: either good guys win or good guys lose, right? But 9 times out of 10 or more, good guys always win. So it's always fun, like seeing the bad guy.
Like
lose.
if the bad guy wins, there's usually a part 2.
That's true. Which, not to really switch subjects, but Spider-Verse, the fact that it's a part 1.
Oh yes. Moving on to like the Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, announcement trailer came out with a little shot. I'm excited. I enjoyed the first movie. It was good.
But again, it's a part 1.
I know it was like, what? Part 1? What? We're getting a third one? Yo, bro. Even though like your hope is that they'll make a third one, but like this is the confirmation.
Right.
Cool.
And the fact that it's coming the next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's been like 4 years since the last movie.
I know, but the fact that it's not like, you have to wait 5 years for part 2. You know what I mean? Sorry, part 2 of these 2-part series. You know what I mean?
I don't really know if part 2 is actually will be 2023 though.
From what I've heard, it will be. So I guess that could make sense why we've had to wait like 4 years for this second movie.
Yeah, although no, it doesn't. No, I think 4 years makes sense, like because the animation is just so detailed and how they stylize it. So like if the second part came out 2024, that makes sense to me, because I feel like you'd probably want more time for that.
But you'll be A-okay if it was 23.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it.
I am not as excited as you are.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm still gonna watch it, so I'm excited on that end, right? Because there aren't movies I'm gonna watch in the first place.
Sure, but it's also like, I wonder who else will see this time. So like we're getting the 2099 Spider-Man, which is like one of the more famous ones. Who else do we got?
Right.
I don't know.
Someone. And I'm interested to see what the villain is gonna be. Like how massive of a thing is it for there to be a second part? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a thing.
I kind of wish. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it being advertised as a part 1. You know what I mean? I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but it would have been fun to be like, oh my gosh, what? The story isn't done. Part 2 is on the way at the end of the movie, kind of thing. You know? I mean, I guess we'll still get that at the end of this first part. Like, what? That's it? No way. I have to wait a year for the story to finish.
I think going into a part 1, it's like, okay, since I know there'll be a second part, if the story doesn't end up in a satisfying way, I'll know that there'll be more to it, which that's not how you should do your movie, but they do that. Shush. Yeah.
Would you have preferred that they just made one long giant movie instead of splitting it up?
No.
No.
We'll see. Will depend on what the story is.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. See, because we don't even know what it is, and so I can't judge that. But
yeah,
like it just means that there's more. Is what it means to me. Part 1, thus part 2, thus a trilogy.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we'll see. That's still a bit of ways.
While I don't think Spider-Verse has any impact on No Way Home, I've thought about watching it this week as well. But I don't know. I keep falling asleep in the middle of these movies, so I don't know. Let's see. Oh, right. I wanted to talk about the Maguire movies now that I've seen them for a second time.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'm not going to say stuff like my good friend did that got you really down last time.
Yeah.
I'm obviously... Do I love Maguire? No. But obviously, watching it a second time, I wanted to watch it a second time because I would. What's that? I know what I'm getting myself into. Kind of like what I was talking earlier. I went into the context of the Maguire movies. He's the best Spider-Man. These are the best Spider-Man movies. That was all the context I was given, right? And honestly, that was terrible context. I would have preferred what I've been telling people about Eternals. Go into it with an open mind. You know, this is different. This is something you're not going to expect. You know, the issue with everyone with Maguire is the fact that they grew up on it. So this is their first introduction to Spider-Man. This is not all they know, but what they know. You know what I mean? So that's why, and I still argue that I believe that nostalgia blinds a lot of people as it relates to the Maguire movies. That's not to say that they're wrong, but to say that nostalgia plays a huge part in things. So now that I knew the Maguire movies, going into it a second time, I was 100% ish, whatever. I don't know. I was definitely able to appreciate them more than I did the first time I watched them. Again, is he my favorite? No. But I don't know, I can't necessarily pinpoint specifics, but I can appreciate it more. I don't necessarily love his performance, but there are aspects where I see why people argue his performance is good. I like. I don't think that's this part's ever been in question, but I do like MJ's character. I mean, I have some qualms with it, but like I get it, kind of. Like it is a rocky relationship thing. Again, I think the Green Goblin is a great villain. Just simply the attack his heart thing is so powerful. Like that is truly what breaks Spider-Man down. The fact that the villains keep going after MJ or Aunt May, that truly breaks him. Like he definitely does save a random passerby on the street, but he's definitely way more inclined to save MJ. You know what I mean? And that's what really pulls the best out of him. I will personally argue pretty much on that I prefer Spider-Man 1 over Spider-Man 2. Not to say Spider-Man 2 is bad, but I think just the Green Goblin's just that thing is just so impactful or powerful, or obviously not necessarily. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so by attack his heart, but like that makes the villain so powerful. Dare I say evil, in such a smart way. And yeah, I don't I like Doc Ock, kind of not in love with him, but like I don't really feel like Spider-Man 2 really hits it home. Plus, it's still a little hard for me to digest a little bit of like him losing his powers, because if this is how I've kind of been looking at it. If you look at one, like the powers just kind of came to him, right? He got bit. After that, he didn't have to do anything. He had to discover how to utilize them. Spider-Man 2, he lost the ability to use them, which mentally I have a hard time grasping because I'm like, he didn't have to focus on MJ to have his powers in the first place, if you know what I mean. Didn't
I think it's not so much the focus on MJ. It's like, man, this thing is getting in the way. It's getting in the way of my job. It's getting in the way of the other job I have. Like, it's also getting in the way of any relationships I want. It's like all the emotional stress is like, now my powers are gone. I guess I can have a normal life now. And like, I understand. Like, I didn't understand why he lost his powers for years, and so I just started like thinking, okay, why? Okay, this. Okay, all adds up to stress, and that's why. Okay, okay. And
maybe
it
I'll
wasn't.
come to that conclusion in a few
Sure,
years.
sure. Yeah, that's fine. I don't expect you to come to that conclusion now, but it's one of the things that it took me a long time to really understand. I was just like, okay, he lost his powers. Okay.
No, I
Doesn't
definitely
matter.
understand the fact that like he was going through enough stress for him to want to quit being Spider-Man.
Yes.
I
Also,
get that,
because
for sure.
I'm Spider-Man, I can't help my Aunt May, who's currently losing her house. Doesn't have money. I can't support her.
Mm-hmm.
It's not until like MJ gets taken. It's like, okay, now there's a necessity for me to be Spider-Man.
Yeah. Again, like he can't let his loved ones suffer. Therefore, he will do anything to get them back. And yeah, just like in Spider-Man 2, like he had no intention of being Spider-Man until Doc Ock took MJ.
Yeah, I mean, like, even though he did try, it's like, oh, I'm gonna jump off this building, and then he fails, gets hurt. Like, he wasn't really. He didn't have a necessity to become Spider-Man again. It's just like, you know, people are getting hurt. I should be Spider-Man again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I should still have the power in me. I'll jump off the roof. That should strike something. But enough about Spider-Man. Let's go back to Hawkeye for a bit.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
I still have a couple notes.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I wanted to get my McGuire thing out of the way. So, are you happy that I appreciate McGuire a little more?
I had no doubts about that, but sure.
Whatever. Move on. Yeah, Hawkeye. My favorite
Hawkeye. Yeah, like
show
after
of
the
year.
third episode, where that Kingpin moment happened, I was like, bro, that was Kingpin.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know, so I didn't catch it.
I know, but it's like only Kingpin fans would know that was Kingpin, because like the way like the context was like, oh, Uncle will pick you up. It's like, who's Uncle? Then you hear these heavy footsteps. It's like, heavy footsteps. Like, that's a big man. And then you have this well-dressed guy, like, you know, pinches the girl's cheek. He's like, ah, okay, that must be something. And then he chuckles. And it's like, wait a minute. That chuckle. I've heard it before. Oh my gosh, it's Vincent D'Onofrio. Like, he's Kingpin. Oh my gosh, it's Kingpin. And then, like, I was excited to send you that. I sent you, like, a video that compared, like, his laugh. It's like, oh, it's definitely him. Mm-hmm. So I can't wait for that reveal. Like, even just the footsteps, it's like, whoa. Like, that's like similar sounding footsteps too. Like the big thud. It's like, oh yeah, great. It's just great character setup for me. Cause like, wow, they're putting so much work in. He's well dressed. He's got little cufflinks, which might be the same from the show. Who knows? Yeah,
funny.
I think there's really.
This is the week for Daredevil fans, if you think about it.
If it's true, if what they said is true, because you said possible end credit scene in episode 4, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, that didn't. I will say though, like 2 or 3 of the leakers I've been following, they all were like, all the things we saw showed it was going to happen, and they're all assuming that they wanted to give Yelena the Twitter meltdown, and then give episode 5. So give Kingpin to episode 5 meltdown. You know
Unless
what I mean?
they do Kingpin like with Loki at the last episode.
Mm-hmm. I mean, here's the thing: if the signs were showing that Kingpin was supposed to appear for end credit scene for episode 4, then and they cut that, then that probably means he would be in 5. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah, but I wasn't
We'll
really
see.
seeing too many signs, except that weird phone call the mother did.
Wait. Okay, I didn't catch that. What?
Oh yeah, at the end of the scene where like Kate and like Hawkeye leaves like the mother's house. The mother calls someone. It's like, hey, like I need to talk about something, and then it cuts away.
I
Like,
don't remember that.
like I caught that, and I thought, okay, well that's clearly like a setup for something. They're baiting us for something. My assumption, it's gonna be Kingpin. Why not? But I think
What a week.
I think of the show, there's really only one thing that I didn't like.
Okay.
And that was the opening of the first episode.
Yeah, the flashback scene, essentially.
The flashback, the one that inspired her. So the whole Attack of New York thing, I think that's good. That's good to see with her. What I don't like is before that moment happened with her family together. And the reason why, because that is terrible writing. We're family writing. We don't even know what that means. But hey, this is the most generic family dialogue we can have. This is the most generic mother's cool trick. It's like, it's the most generic, just family writing. Family writing. And it's like, okay, I know we're setting up family good before bad stuff happens, but there are better ways to write family good than doing everyone else's way of doing family good that's been used so many times before. And it's not even that accurate to an actual family good moment. It was just, it was just bad. I just didn't like that. And then Kate's first scene as a grown-up with the clock tower, I just, I didn't really like that. No.
Yeah.
Besides the opening, the rest was fine.
I'll say, though, I'm glad that they didn't have the intro credits for the rest of the show, which I get was to kind of introduce Kate through visuals without recording stuff. But
yeah,
I remember my friend is like, "This is a long intro." I'm like, "Well, pray to God they don't use this again."
And then they don't. And like I was looking at the intro, it's like, oh, this girl's amazing. I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna like Kate. And then they don't focus on that aspect of her character at all. It's like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
I like kind of like she's like, dare I say, 4 out of 5 stars. Like she's skilled, but she's not there. And there's moments where she just, like in the first episode when she was like fending for herself in the certain really appreciated, you know?
I mean, you cut out there, but yes, sure, I agree.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Go on.
Do you know that Kate killed someone?
In the first 4 episodes, or is this something?
Yes, the first 4 episodes. They never talked about it. But she kills people.
Kind of
during the chase scene.
Because here in the chase
in the car chase scene,
thing.
she shoots an arrow at a car that it explodes. Those people are dead. The car itself explodes as well. And it's like, she doesn't respond to killing people, even though like she freaks out when people are dead when she sees them. It's like, okay, that's not right. They must have not had that in the script when they were doing it.
Here's the thing with the MCU. At some points, for example, like Sokovia in Age of Ultron, their ultimate goal was to save the people. You know what I mean? Obviously to stop Ultron, but also to save the people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there are moments when the MCU does that well, but there's other moments when it just, for example, Guardians of the Galaxy is known to be one of the highest, like the most on-screen deaths in a movie, simply when all those starships surround that big ship
Yeah.
and all of them explode, which I I'm I'm not positive if I count that as on-screen deaths, if you know what I mean. But regardless, essentially the like the official like death count number is like over 80,000 for that movie, and essentially 80,000 are those ships. Which were there really 80,000 ships? I doubt it. Anyways, let's say 8,000. I don't know, but a lot of ships. Anyways, but the MCU does have a lot of moments where like a lot of people die, and we really don't think twice about it. You know what I mean?
I know that the Rocket felt bad that those people died. He had a little moment.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it's very
Oh, I don't
small,
remember.
but it's very clear. He's like,
Okay.
"No, get out of there, Saw!" And then Saw dies. It's like, no, but you're focused on that one character, essentially that he's sad about. But here, it's like they deliberately say that Kate has never been involved in anything like this. Like she's never killed anyone. Like, holy crap! There's a dead guy there, and then like she shoots an arrow and it blows up a car. You can't say that those guys aren't dead because the car blew up. Like
Right.
that is most likely a VFX mistake if that's the case. But it's like Dave Hawkeye took that shot. It's like okay, that's him. But Kate, I just think they forgot about Kate.
I feel like
those
for her, it
details.
was the thrill of the moment. You know what I mean?
No, even then, I'd still think like she'd react. It's like, oh my gosh, whoa, those guys are dead. Yeah, like that's that. You can try and explain it all you want, but I will still tell you as much as you can explain it. I'm just gonna say that's bad. Like on a human level, there would be some reaction to that. And they completely forgot about that. So there you go.
Here's the thing: the MCU is so good at little things, but it's also so bad at little things.
Yeah.
Like they're great at connecting these little plot lines and such, and they're also so bad at these little plot lines and such. It like we all can't deny it's amazing to see what they've been able to do. It's incredible, and like to like sometimes I look at some of these things. I wish, oh my god, actually perfect. That would be amazing, but it's so hard to make anything perfect, no? So I guess there's an aspect where it's like I have to appreciate what I got, but at the same time, there is an element where I do believe they are aware of many mistakes they have made, and I feel like they could have a little better quality control. But really, they have so many stories that they want to tell that at the end of the day, they want to get the main plot line across and move on.
And that's no excuse. Like as an
It really
artist,
shouldn't be.
that's no excuse. Like I will critique that.
Yeah, it is a little upsetting with some of these things, and just again, just like Like, how does Black Widow pass the test? Like, in my brain, it doesn't. Like, I don't. You have yet to see it.
I've yet to see it.
Okay.
I have
I
Disney
am
Plus.
really
I
curious.
can watch it at any point. So
Right. Eternals is coming to Disney Plus on January 12th.
yeah.
Now, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, rank them how anticipating-ish, whatever word you want to see them.
Okay. That I want to see them.
It's like, oh, I want to see this. Well, obviously you don't, but this one you'd prefer to see the most, and that one the least.
I think
You know what I mean?
Shang-Chi is the one I would prefer to see the most.
Gotcha. And least?
Least is probably Black Widow.
Gotcha.
Only because like I already like know so much about it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Eternals, I have no clue anything about it. So
Yeah. But also, I feel like, again, with Black Widow, because it's a flashback movie.
Yeah.
There is an element where does it affect the present? Namely because of Yelena, yes. But also no. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because I haven't gotten super far in the MCU studios whatever thing I bought. I haven't touched it in about a month, honestly. But I got like a quarter way through. I just haven't had time to like sit down and such. But when they made Iron Man 2, it was obviously because Iron Man did super well. So they made Iron Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man 2 wasn't as loved as Iron Man. And their main takeaway from that is don't make a movie that don't make a movie that doesn't have to be made. You know what I mean? So essentially they're like, oh, they essentially made Iron Man 2 because Iron Man did so well, not because they had a story to tell. They made a story based upon the original's popularity.
Yeah.
So the reason why we don't have an Iron Man 4 is, yeah, you can argue contracts, which is obviously part of it, but also the fact that they didn't have a story to tell for an Iron Man 4.
Even though, like, I know that they wanted to do an Iron Man 4, but like, I'm pretty sure Robert didn't really want to do that.
Which I would believe that, honestly. But yeah, there is an element where, yes, there is an aspect where they're like, we have to have a Black Widow movie. But it's also not like they completely threw it out there, like, let's just have Black Widow movie. They obviously made a Black Widow movie. It's also like
there was a demand
with implications.
For Black Widow as well.
But again, they made it with implications, namely, as we know right now, Yelena. If there's more, we don't know the more yet.
Yeah.
But so same with Eternals. If there is a second Eternals movie, it's obviously not because Eternals was so well received by the critics. It's obviously because they believe they have a story to tell with these characters. So that's one thing I kind of like to I try to have that perspective with some of these, and obviously some things I may disagree, where I'm like, I don't feel like that was a completely necessary story to tell, but probably some of these things will bite me in the back. And again, like, there's some people who say Thor: The Dark World is but I'd argue that's wrong because it introduces an infinity. Words! It introduces an Infinity Stone. So obviously, you could still not watch it and watch Infinity War and understand the fact that red is an Infinity Stone. If you want context, you gotta watch it. And so that's also my thoughts with Eternals. It's like, yes, a lot of people don't want to watch it, but if you do want context for what's coming up in the future, you might as well just bite the bullet. It's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out, because obviously they have some big story that they want to climax to with like
sure.
Finable, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see how things are going to happen.
So anyway,
one of my friends who likes comic books, he's saying like, this is the stage of the MCU where it's more for the diehard comic book fans, where they're delving into stories that diehard comic book fans know of and making them movies. So he, as like a diehard, like he's excited about some of these stories. Obviously, some that he's not so excited about, like Eternals, but there's some that are being teased and are being developed, like Secret Invasion, that he's excited to see visualized. So, yeah, who knows? It'll be obviously the MCU is enough of a force where it's going to do well enough in box office and such. But it's also going to be interesting to see if they'll be able to reclaim the hype that there was for Infinity War and Endgame. I have no say whether they will or not, but I'm curious.
yeah. So anyway, on another note. So recently, Weird Al Yankovic announced his tour for next year.
I was so scared you were going to say retirement.
He's already retired.
Well, I know at least he's not active in the strict sense. You know
Sure,
what I mean?
but he retired from making music essentially.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he announced like his tour for next year, and I just took a look at like where he's going, and there's a couple points where it's like, they're like an hour away from where I would be at the time, or like 40 minutes actually.
Yeah,
and it's like, I might want to go to a concert.
Yeah.
Not only that, I considered, do I want to get VIP tickets? Which are like 300 some bucks. Yeah. Which is a lot. But that I get to meet him, get pictures, get an autograph. It might be worth it. It's like a paycheck and a half, but it might be worth it. Also considering, it's official that there will not be a SonicCon next year.
Okay.
They're pushing it to 2023.
Okay. And which I think is the better move.
Considering just how much just stuff happened and how much money they spent versus the game. Curious.
Is it gonna be spring or fall 23?
I believe it's fall.
Gotcha. I was kind of hoping it'd be spring. You know what I mean?
I mean, it could still be. It could still be, but as of like this moment, from my sources, it is fall of 2023. Okay. So for those listening who like SonicCon, sad for you guys. But yeah, like I might consider going to a Weird Al concert.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I was wondering if you were going to build up to it, and so I bought the tickets, but you didn't. So
okay, I'm not yet. I'm still considering the tickets and the
when
timing.
Is the date?
It's in August and in October.
My fear is that VIP would sell out.
I know, and so that's why I'm thinking about it soon. But it's also like I have to really think about the cost, because like when I first saw the prices, it's like, oh, okay, that's doable. But then like today I had this thought, is like, wait a minute, my PlayStation 4 I bought for $200 on Black Friday. This is more than that.
Right.
But then I also think back, it's like, okay, but when I went to BronyCon and spent money in all the merchandise, I spent more than $300. So
yeah, I really have mixed feelings with VIP tickets. Like I get it, but I don't at the same time.
Yeah,
You know?
it sort of rounds itself out because it's like, oh, you get all these other perks that no one else gets. It's like, okay. It's also like one of those things that I'd never do again.
Yeah, yeah, and also well, definitely with Weird Al, but it's also like if people ever do it, it's only with so few, unless you have so much money or you're such a diehard or whatever. But yeah, it's like you really have to like pick your battles of who you're gonna VIP with.
Unless like you know a guy, like they hook you up.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some crazy freaks out there who are always able to get VIP for every tour. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? But whatever. It's their money, not mine.
It's because they live with their parents. And they don't pay rent, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is partially the reason why I believe I can afford this.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, but it's still true.
Yeah.
Even though my parents aren't here, I still technically live with them. In
Right.
a sense, where I take care of their house. I will tell you the locations after the podcast.
Okay.
But like that, I saw that. It's like, I might want to do that. That's a very real opportunity.
Yeah.
And it's music related, so.
Yeah. Yes. I should like delve into his stuff one day. There's so many artists I want to delve into, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like artists I've heard of, artists I've heard some songs
I'll
from.
just find an album interface and like send it to you. It's like, hey, here's another album for you to listen to.
Yeah, I probably should. I still need to send you the one album. I kind of wanted to give you a break of talking about music.
No,
but
go ahead
also,
and send me something so I can.
Actually, one other reason though is because the digital version of the album has a different track listing from the physical, and I grew up with the physical track listing. So I want to give you a playlist with my order. You know what I mean? Or the physical order. So
Okay.
Yeah, I'm stupid like that.
Just whatever. Yeah.
I will.
Whatever. I don't care. Just send me the music and I'll listen to it.
I will. Okay.
So yeah.
There's some things I want to talk to you off.
Yeah.
The record. Unless you have anything else to say, I don't.
I have like a quick thing that because it's finals right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a college guy still, but yeah, like I had like 2 finals on Thursday. Like I woke up on Friday, and I was just like, okay, I'm preparing for stuff, and then I just thought, it's like, wait a minute, I don't have to ever think about those classes ever again.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
What's your last day of finals?
Well, I have like my last physical final on tomorrow, which is I'm super excited for the final because like that's my playwriting one. And then I have like an online class that's finished on Friday this next week.
Okay. Yay!
Yeah, but like
you're so close.
I know Friday morning I woke up. It's like, holy crap, that's done. So I just went and returned the books to the library. It's like, yay!
Nice.
Seriously, great.
Man, I am so happy I'm done with college. I've talked about that before, but whatever.
I know. I still have a whole year and a half left, but it's. I know. I bet you'd be happy without it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really all that I wanted to talk about for today.
Amazing.
Until next time when we do Spider-Man. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Can't
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.